we're going to talk about how to manage flare-ups, specifically with shoulder pain. I made some notes, so I might be looking down a little bit. This is something I get a lot from my clients, from you guys, from anybody on social media. So, when people get shoulder flare-ups, they typically hear rest, avoid movement, stop lifting, do all these things, right? All of these things that honestly just don't work. And the shoulder just keeps coming back. It's more pissed. It gets flared up. You feel like you're losing strength. All of these things. But what we actually want to do is figure out how can we train without pissing it off even more, and how can we train in a way that's going to respect the pain, right? Like that's kind of the big thing that we try to hit with my coaching program and everything like that. For this video, we're specifically going to be talking about the flare-ups. First, we have to know, like, is this flare-up actually a flare-up, or did you just never get to the root of the issue? Because, you know, if you do like cortisone shots, if you do BPC, if you do all these things, you might feel like you're treating the pain, but in reality, you didn't actually get to the source of the pain. So we have to identify, is this actually a flare-up, or did you just kind of miss the mark initially, okay? Now, if you are doing everything, you feel very solid, you're working with someone, you got to the root of the issue, then we want to know why a flare-up is going on. Now, there's literally a million different reasons and ways you can flare your shoulder up, which can be very frustrating, but in the same turn, it can be really good because we know that there are a million things that can also positively influence this flare-up, right? We want to, anytime there's a flare-up, we want to make sure that we're not like freaking out, assuming that we re-injured things, you know, making sure that we're not thinking our body's broken, those types of things. Now, I know that that's like kind of woo-woo, it's pretty mindset-y, right? But those things do very much matter. I can't stress that enough. I had a call with someone today about that, but essentially what we want to do if you have a flare-up, if you feel something coming on, is we want to pinpoint the trigger, right? Why did this happen? Did you do something like a bench, an overhead press, snatch, whatever? Did you do something that maybe was a little risky, that you kind of pushed the envelope on? Like, where's the pain at? Is it the same pain? How's your sleep been? How's your nutrition been? Ladies, are you about to start your period? Are you like on your period? Those things all matter. So we want to actually pinpoint the trigger. We want to actually have like the awareness of what's going on and not just guess. One thing that's very, very important is tracking your workouts, right? Anytime I've had clients that maybe they feel like their pain is random, right? We keep a symptom journal. We keep track of like nutrition, sleep, stress, training. What are these things? What are these inputs? Because those things really do impact pain. And so we want to make sure that we have all of that stuff going on, okay? Typically, pain is not random, right? There's usually some kind of predictable thing that happens. There's something that we can trace the pain back to. And again, did you do a movement that was a little risky? Did you eat like shit? Did you drink alcohol? Did you not sleep? Did you sleep weird? How's the stress? All of these things truly impact it. And again, like hormones, periods, all of that stuff, okay? Don't worry, guys. We're not going to be talking about periods too much, so you can stay on. Now, if you are going through a flare-up, there's a few things that I like to have my clients do. So first things first, we can still train, right? That's my big thing, is still training with aches and pains and injuries and everything like that. We can adjust the load, we can throw in tempos, we can do pauses, we can switch to a different variation, whatever it is. Like, there's something that we can do to keep training, okay? That is very important, that we stay in the gym, not just, oh, hey, I'm having a flare-up, let me skip the gym. Like, that's just not how it works. The other thing that I like to do, and we try to do this pretty quick in my programs, is if you have XYZ pain, right? We'll say biceps pain, because I'm getting a ton of people with biceps tendonitis, shoulder impingement, all that. Say you have a biceps irritation, right? And we found exercise A and B that just really move the needle forward. They drop the pain. Things feel great when you're doing those. So what we want to do is we want to fall back on those exercises that we know make a difference in the pain, right? It's kind of common sense, but a lot of people don't do that. If we find something that breaks up the pain and you have a flare-up, let's go back to the things that we know break up the pain. Again, seems simple, but not a lot of people do it. They just take time off completely, they rest it, they try to go get another cortisone shot, whatever. We want to essentially like nix the reason why any of these flare-ups keep happening, right? We want to make sure that you're fixing the underlying issue, the root cause of why this is even going on in the first place. We want to make sure that, you know, you're actually strengthening the muscles. You're not just taking time off. As you take time off, things get weaker, things get more cranky, all of that, okay? We also want to make sure any kind of movement patterns, we're fixing that. Things are moving and grooving, all of that stuff. And you also want to look at like your actual movement pattern, like in a bench, in an overhead press, for you CrossFit Olympic weightlifters, like what's your snatch, what's your clean and jerk look like, right? So we want to look at all these things, otherwise you're just throwing darts at the wall. So again, pinpoint the trigger and realize that the trigger for the flare-up can be more than just an exercise, right? It can be how you ate, it can be how you're sleeping if you're not sleeping very much, if you had alcohol, if your stress is high, you know, and then obviously the exercise realm where, hey, did you do more? Did you do more volume, right? Sets and reps. Did you do more of that? Did you do more intensity? What's that look like? And again, if you feel like your pain is random, I'm going to give you a hard truth. Like, it's not really random, right? You're just not paying attention to the inputs that you're doing. And so if you feel like your pain is random, what you want to do is you want to keep a journal, right? Just an Excel spreadsheet, a Google Sheets spreadsheet, whatever. You want to take a look at things, be hyper specific, basically act like you're a scientist trying to figure out what's going on. And chances are you're going to find a pattern. I've had some of the craziest shit. I had one lady, this was before I like really knew, I didn't know a ton about nutrition in the way that I do now, but I had this lady, she was having like jaw pain, right? And I was like, I don't work with the jaw, but like we can probably figure something out. So we got to talking and I had her keep a symptom journal, and it was like 2 days after she ate this stupid like granola bar, she would have a flare up, and it was like clockwork. It was like literally 2 days on the dot. And I was like, hey, maybe like just let's cut that out and see what happens. Well, come to find out there's something in it that she had like a food allergy to. And so it was causing a lot of inflammation in her body. And so I was like, okay, like you're healed. Not really, because you still want to figure out like why the jaw was like susceptible to, you know, the pain anyway. Like, was there something underlying? But like that is just a super random example of how just like food can affect it, right? I have one guy, I worked with him like way back when I did in-person work, and he would have shoulder pain coming in on like Monday, and then later in the week he was fine. And I was like, dude, like what's going on the weekends? Like, are you more busy? Are you just golfing a lot? Are you doing yard work? Like, what's going on? And this MFer was drinking every weekend. Not a lot, right? He would just have like 1 or 2 beers. And I was like, dude, like, that's an inflammatory. And so we had the joke, oh yeah, I had a couple inflammatories this weekend, you know, whatever. But something like that, like the more you can pay attention to this stuff, the more you're going to eliminate the triggers, right? And that's not something that you have to do forever. It's just in that rehab phase where you're trying to heal the shoulder, your hip, back, whatever you're trying to heal up. In the meantime, while you're in that process, it is very important to make sure your nutrition's on point, your sleep's on point, all of these things. I've had people who, and this is where knowing your body or having a coach that can help you identify this is super important because, you know, I have some clients where they'll flare up in that session, right? We'll know, hey, like, we'll feel pain pretty quick. And then there are other people, and maybe this is you, where you have pain like 2 days later or that night or a day later, like the next day, right? It's kind of like DOMS in the gym. You might not feel terrible that day, the next day, but day 2, holy shit, you can't even walk and you basically have a stick up your ass. So you got to know yourself when it comes to that stuff as well, because, you know, like the example with the lady, she had pain 2 days after eating some kind of food, right? And so that matters for movements, for load, for intensity, you know, alcohol, all of those things, sleep. So that's why like tracking is really important. But again, make sure you're pinpointing the trigger, fall back on the things that actually do help, right? Inside my program, I saw Sean on here earlier. We found a couple movements like early on in his rehab journey, and we knew, hey, if there's a flare-up, we can go back to that stuff and we're good. Okay, I have another guy. There's 2 exercises that always eliminate his pain no matter what's going on. And so what we do is like, hey, we can push the needle a little bit. We can kind of see how things are moving. And then we know if there is a flare-up, we can calm it back down very quickly. And then we know, hey, it's probably above our threshold. Let's work under that until we build up a little bit more tissue tolerance and tissue capacity. All right. If that was helpful, if that made you think, make sure, you know, you like, subscribe, do all the things. And yeah, see you on the next one.